our series. Today we're going to be talking all about Pinterest and how to use Pinterest for your business. So we're going to be providing tips on how to really grow your business on this new social media site. So my name is Josh Allen. We've also got Crystal Burns here with us. Both of us are social media strategists here at Orange Soda. And so we'll be the ones going through these slides today. If you guys have questions as we are going through these slides, feel free to ask us those questions either in the chat box or by sending those questions in through email. You can email any questions you have to pageinksupport@orangesoda.com. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So because Pinterest is still pretty new, we get this question a lot. Why should we join Pinterest? Especially as a business, that's an even bigger question. Why does my business need to be on Pinterest and Facebook and Twitter? Can it just, be on Facebook? Doesn't that cover it? Pinterest is starting to really take off. It's really exploding as a social networking site. You can see it's the third most popular social network site in the world. And as we discussed a few weeks ago, Pinterest actually hit the 10 million user mark faster than any other website in history. So it's growing extremely fast. So because of that, there's going to be tons of different audiences on Pinterest, and most likely your audience and your customers are going to be on Pinterest. So it's just another way to reach out to them. Another interesting fact is that referrals spend 70% more money than visitors referred from other non-social channels. So if someone comes to your website because of Pinterest, they're 70% more likely to spend money, or excuse me, they're likely to spend 70% more money than visitors who come in through other websites. So Pinterest users are willing to spend money. They're willing to look for new products and to buy stuff. Total unique visitors, again, has really taken off and really exploded lately. Since May 2011, the number of unique visitors has increased by almost 3,000%. So in that 2-year period, it's grown extremely large. And as you can see in this chart down here on the bottom, the U.S. unique visitors, this chart is from about a year ago, so it's a little outdated, but it's great to see the growth here. In January 2012, Pinterest was getting ready to hit 12 million unique visitors in the U.S. And now I believe that number of U.S. unique visitors has grown to about 30 million, I believe, and they're at about 50 million users per month now worldwide. So it's getting really big, and the average time spent per month on Pinterest is about 98 minutes. So they're spending quite a bit of time on Pinterest, looking for new products, looking for new clothing or whatever it is, and then repinning and resharing that content. So it's a great way to, again, reach out to your audience and kind of show them some of your great products and just to showcase all that stuff. Crystal's going to be getting or going over how to get started with Pinterest, so I'll go ahead and turn the time over for her to her for a while.
Okay. All right, as Josh said, I will be going over basically how to get started and set up your business Pinterest account. So if you already have a Pinterest account that you would like to keep for your business, Pinterest does actually give you the option to convert your business or convert your personal account into the business account, as you can see in the top slide or the top image. And these accounts just make it easy for businesses to basically inspire the ever-growing community of Pinterest. Also, keep in mind that there are two sets of terms, one for businesses and one for just regular personal use. So the business terms of service basically enable Pinterest to separate the provisions meant for businesses from those meant for regular users, and they're intended to help guide businesses on how to use Pinterest. So the second step is to verify your website. And basically that's to show Pinners that you're a trustworthy source. So Pinterest basically just wants to make sure that you own the website listed on your Pinterest profile. And once you are verified, you will see, as in the bottom image on this slide, a check mark should appear on your profile to the left of your domain name. So now I'm going to go over the third step about setting up your profile, and that's basically to add the Pin It button to your site. Adding the Pin It button basically just makes it easy for people to pin things directly from your blog or your website. Businesses who have used the Pin It button have seen significant lifts in their site traffic. For example, allrecipes.com. So just 3 months after allrecipes.com decided to add their Pin It button, people pinned more than 50,000 recipes from their website, which led to 139 million impressions on Pinterest. So yeah, that's a simple task. You just want to add the Pin It button, and yeah, you can let pinners go from there. So the Pinterest Web Analytics, this is actually a newer feature for Pinterest. I want to say they rolled it out maybe a month ago. So before, users were just using third-party analytics systems. And you do want to keep in mind that this web analytics system is still in its infancy, so it is very basic. So you'll find that a lot of businesses will continue to use their third-party analytics systems. But yeah, it basically gives you the opportunity to track your pinning activity and learn what pinners like. To access the web analytics, you want to make sure that your website is verified in association with Pinterest. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. But you'll just go up to the top right corner and click on Analytics. Once that Analytics screen comes up, it brings you to a site metrics page, which is partially what you see on this slide. And basically, the site metrics page measures four groups, I guess, 4 categories. And that's pins, repins, impressions, and clicks. So yeah, it's definitely a tool that you would want to utilize if you want to just get a better idea of what's doing well on your site. And now we'll go over a business example of Etsy and how they've utilized Pinterest. So if you're not familiar with Etsy, Etsy is basically an e-commerce website that essentially is a global online marketplace that allows people to sign up and create their online shops to sell their homemade creations or vintage items. So they have over 800,000 online shops and 15 million different items. So it's definitely a force to be reckoned with in the social commerce world. Pinterest provides Etsy the ability to showcase their brand on Pinterest, drive incremental traffic and sales, and learn what customers want. And I'll just kind of expound on some of those things. So showcasing their brand on Pinterest. So Etsy was initially drawn to Pinterest by the visual nature of it. And so over time, they've invested more in really shaping their brand presence on Pinterest. They have an editorial team that posts new pins daily to Etsy's board, drawing from Etsy items as well as content from other sites, which are basically inspired by what's trending on Pinterest. So in addition, they also launched a guest pinner program. We covered this on the intro to Pinterest webinar that we did a while back. So basically, the guest pinner program is you can create a board and give access to another pinner to pin onto that board besides yourself. So they do that, and that's just a great way to engage the community in content sharing on Pinterest. and to keep the content fresh and authentic. So on to driving incremental traffic and sales. So the owners of Etsy started to realize that basically they're observing that a lot of the online shop sellers were posting the things that they're making onto Pinterest. And so they wanted to make it easier for the sellers, and so they decided to add the pinit button to each seller's page. It's important to note that items pinned from Etsy do also come with acknowledgement, and basically that ensures that each pin item carries a shop's name, and the details contain the name and the price. And that helps users realize just that once they see the pin, they realize it's something that they can buy and that they can simply click on and be redirected back to that site. On to learning what customers want. This section can be tied back into the analytics section. And basically, it allows a very clear visual of what your customers are interested in. And you can pay close attention to user engagement through metrics such as the user pins, repins, and likes of all their products. All cues to what content is really resonating with your customers. So yeah, it's definitely something you want to keep in mind as you set up your Pinterest account for business. And I will let Josh close out with a few pinning principles.
Awesome, thanks, Crystal. So from Etsy, we can really take away some principles that we can carry over to almost any business on Pinterest. So first off, we want to put pinners first. So before you start pinning, remember to consider what pinners really care about. So be sure to check out your web analytics to see what they like best, and even talk with them directly. You can get great feedback from your customer, and then once you get that feedback from them, be sure to tailor your pinning for them. Kind of like on Facebook, you want to communicate with your audience in a way that's kind of reflective of them. People connect best with people who are like them. So same thing with businesses. We want to kind of tailor to our customers and to our audience. Second, we want to curate our collection. So be sure to create a few boards to start your collection, and the best boards are inspiring and have beautiful images that really draw people in. And remember that they're also very specific. So on Pinterest, there's a lot of like travel boards or recipe boards, and sometimes they get even more specific than that. So just remember, as you're curating your collection, just remember to make very specific boards so that people are they're aware of exactly what that board is about. Next, we want to show what inspires you. So instead of just showing off your products, show what inspired those products. So create boards for the ideas and places and people that stand behind your brand. We also want to be authentic. So we want to use our boards to show our values, our personality and taste, just like pinners do. It's great to get it's great to get creative in this area, and we really recommend doing that. The more creative you are in showing your personality and your taste and your values, the more it reflects your personality and shows that your company has a personality. And then we want to share your pins. So once you started to grow your community, you can promote your Pinterest account and even share what you're pinning on your website. So those are 5 things that we really wanted you guys to take away from this today, and to remember as a business using Pinterest. Again, if you guys have questions from this webinar or from past webinars, feel free to email us those questions at pagingsupport@orangesoda.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Next week, we actually won't be having a webinar due to a company meeting. So be sure to watch some past webinars on the YouTube page, the YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com/pagingsbyorangesoda. Again, thanks for coming to this week's webinar, guys, and we will talk to you later.